My name's Horton and I'm a 3D documentations engineer for FARO UK. I'd like to spend 10 minutes and run you through a tech tip for using FARO SCENE 5.3. Have you found yourself in the scenario when taking FLS files from FARO SCENE into Recap, you find yourself running very slowly in Recap to register the files? Similar to this. If I import the files, you'll notice that in the top left hand corner nothing appears to happen, or in certain instances the import of the files will go very slowly. The reason for this is down to a mismatch in the Recap software and the software developer kit for FARO SCENE, more commonly known as the SDK. To resolve the issue, we need to go in manually to the command prompt and update the DLL files to make it all work nicely. To begin, you first need to visit the FARO website and download the latest SDK for the version of FARO SCENE that you're running. We then need to go to Windows Explorer and navigate to this specific location here. In doing so, we then need to open a command prompt window and enter two simple commands. If at all you get any error messages, you can unload the DLLs by using this link here. So what I'm going to do is run through that live. To locate the SDK on the FARO website, go into the Products section, under FARO Software, under SCENE and under Downloads. You'll notice under here then that the SDK lives relatively alongside the latest version of SCENE. So the latest version of SCENE is 5.3.2.38168, and a little bit further down exists the SDK. Download this and install it on your machine first. Next, we need to navigate to the root where the DLLs are going to be registered. This is done under the C drive, under Windows, scroll to the very bottom and go to the WinSXS. Then as you scroll down, you should see various FARO files in here. Now the thing to look for, if you've had various versions of FARO on your machine before, the number here denotes the various version that you've had in the past. So I've had FARO 5.2, I've had the original version of FARO 5.3, and I'm now working on FARO 5.3.2. There are several ways to get into the command prompt. The first and easiest, depending on whether you've got administrator view on your machine, is to open this file, click in the bar at the top, and simply type CMD. So when your command prompt window is open, I've got the commands for the DLLs in a separate window, and I'm literally just going to copy them and paste them into here. I can't use Ctrl-V for paste in a command prompt. I have to right click and do paste. When I hit enter, I then get a message to say my first one is successful. I then go to my second DLL, again select that and copy it and paste it in. We get a second message, and that now will have updated your Recap license to work with the software developer kit in SCENE 5.3, and the process should be nice and smooth as it was before. From time to time you might get an error message depending on what authority you have on your machine, at which point you will need to run the command prompt as an administrator. Click on your start bar, type CMD, right click on the command prompt and say run as administrator. By default the drive in here is set to your Windows drive. What we need to do is copy the link in the background from the located file. Then in your command prompt, go back in, type CD space for change drive, then right click and do paste and then enter. This will change the drive location to the specified drive location where we need to register the DLLs. Then it's a case of copying and pasting or typing in the DLL files as we did before, and this should rectify the issue. So if I now go back into Recap, create a new project, click proceed, drag my file across, the file should now start updating and work its way through before you progress to the index of the scans. So to recap, install the FARO SDK onto your machine, locate the latest version of your FARO SDK as denoted by this number here, open this link in a command prompt as an administrator, or as I've done, depending on the authority on your machine. Register your first DLL and register your second DLL. Then your recap should link to your FARO SCENE license. That's it for this tech tip. Thank you for watching. I hope it's been of use.